choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm Peyton. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me. Cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the prove. You gotta choose.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. Out to his left. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it. 20, 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, he spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And again, it's Chubb. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV. CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3-and-out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Watson to run with it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper. 17 yards, first down. Back to throw, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Faking the give. Now Watson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Von Bell. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
11.
Here's Burrow. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. But a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick six, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's a quick throw to Higgins out wide. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he's got room. A solid stiff arm. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there for Cincinnati. 41 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And again, that's Hurst. Touchdown, Bengals. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? But we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens. Although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Browns drive about to get started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Watson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD.
This defense, 3 interceptions now. And, Charles, obviously that one for the pick six. That gives them a 3-possession lead, and they are really in the driver's seat.
Makes you imagine what that lead could become with another half of football left to play, because the way they're getting after a partner, 30 points, 40 points, even 50 points, that type of a lead, not out of the question. And neither is another pick six.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if finally kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. On 4th down, Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. They go up the middle with Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to hit 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
54 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the red zone now, Watson.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
To about the 23.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Burrow looking to pass. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. From the 36, Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have
touchdown. Jamar Chase as the first half is winding down. McPherson now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Watson off play action. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 41. Well, that is interception number 4 for him, Charles. 4 here in the first half alone, and they're already trailing by 4 possessions.
Makes me wonder, partner, do they just not have any confidence at all in the backup, or do they just have that much confidence in him? Able to throw 4 picks already, they're certainly hoping that he can turn things around and quickly.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
They run again on first down. Chubb.
88 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They run it again with Chubb. Gets past one man, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Browns. David Njoku hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are able to cut into that deficit.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 40. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Room here to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
They run the option here on first and 10.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Burrow, a 23-yard run. And the Bengals are in for 6.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Watson now to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. It's Mixon on the counter. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Here we go, here we go. Mighty.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Bengals will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati.
Throwing again is Watson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Watson's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, you just totally get the sense there that a field goal was not in the game plan at all.
And the boys up front, they created the surge. I think they knew that they had the leverage advantage.
Oh, that's a great point there. Being able to get lower than the defensive front, create just enough space. And I love when those quarterbacks get low and slide in there and get it done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Chubb again. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb. That's his 19th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Here we go.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
11.
Burrow will throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
11 MT. 11 mighty.
Burrow going for it on 4th. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
11 MT. Hey.
Play action. It's Burrow. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And with that kind deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
11 mighty. 11 mighty.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. That is taken in by Hurst. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
Now it's Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now it's Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what this.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Charles, not only the blowout in this one, but they break the Washington football team's record for most points in a game, which was set all the way back in 1966. Just an incredible performance.
Well, Brandon, we never go into a game expecting to see a record broken that had lasted for over half a century. But I'm going to give you a quick backstory. That previous record, the Washington team, their star on the team had been traded from the team that they were playing that day. And he was still upset about it, mad at the coach. And late in the game, he told his own team, let's kick a field goal late and add some points to it, just because he was still angry from being traded.
So for Cincinnati, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What you waiting for? Are you ready? Okay, say no more. Tell the chauffeur to open Mercedes door. Put the pedal to metal and made it soar. She was, but I made it sure it was. So we stayed indoors. Let's take it where no one has been before. It feel like I've known you some years.